Ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here on, of course, Cruising with a Case Handler. And it feels great this morning.
Are we live on 93.5 as well?
Live on 93.5 as we speak. Zenmar is putting us live.
I like it. I like it. Good thing I signed on a little early today. You would have been all by yourself. Welcome back. Is this your first time? Is this the first time for you back in New York City?
Yep.
How does it feel?
Feels good, man. Feels terrible.
It's quiet. Downtown is eerily quiet, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Looks like Conrad's about to sign on, and pretty soon we'll be. I can't say it yet because it's not official, but you know what this means, right?
Yeah, we know what that means. You know. So here we are, man. So much going on. Gotta say it's good. What's been happening with you, Adam? Man, we're seeing that we are already cruising with a case handler, but we'll do it officially. What's been happening?
We are we're doing some big things, as they say, big things indeed at the personal injury department. I mean, we just talked about the other day that on Friday, less than a week ago, I settled the case for $925,000. So that was pretty unbelievable. Client came in Monday. Actually, it was a wonderful experience because I had two clients come in Monday to visit me. One of them was signing for a $925,000 settlement, and the other one was signing for a $25,000 settlement. That was the maximum insurance available to him. We got him the full amount, $25,000, and they were both in the waiting room. And right now in the waiting room, we have everybody socially distanced. But I was overhearing their conversation because I was coming around the corner, and they were both talking about how wonderful an experience it was being a case handler client. And I remember them saying, handler's the man, blah, blah. And I was just listening for a second, and I know that sounds, I don't want to sound like creepy, but listen, part of the thrill of what I do, part of the thrill of what I do is making people happy. Listen, I've developed a beautiful practice for personal injury. I'm in a great law firm, Pollock, Isaac DeSico, and we're getting tons and tons of money for clients. I mean, literally millions and millions. I could say it over 120 times, the word million, $120 million in my career. But when you hear real people talk with each other, without anybody else really listening or thinking they're listening, that just makes me feel so good, because as a professional, I strive for perfection, and nothing could ever be perfect, but man, I try to be as close to it as possible. And that's what the firm does as well. Conrad, the managing partner of the firm, although it does say Donna Pollock on his screen right now, he is the maestro, and he's been practicing immigration law for over 36 years. And I really do challenge anybody out there to say that they have more experience with successful results legalizing your status here in the United States other than Conrad Pollock. And he's built a powerhouse law firm when it comes to immigration. So let's make it official. It's 8:30 a.m. Hopefully we're live on 93.5 FM. I know we're streaming live on Facebook right now. But the good news, okay, excellent. But the good news for you guys is that I'm Adam Handler, I'm your case handler, we're Pollock, Isaac DeSico, and now I can say it because Conrad's on. You are officially cruising with the case handler, a show by attorneys here to answer your legal questions for 100% free. It's our way of giving back to the community that's embraced us for so many years. All you have to do is take our number and give us a call. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 ppid law. PPID stands for Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico. Or you can just say it like this. Hey, Squeeze, you down with PPID?
Come on, you know me.
All right.
There you have it, folks. Definitely what it is. It is definitely cruising with the case handler, and I'm here today. It's good to be back in New York City, literally in New York City. And man, it's a different place. It's a complete different.
The first day back is the weirdest day. I get it. So I know you feel a little out of your element right now. I get it, but
yeah, I really, really do. But anyway, we're here to do business. This is a show about personal injury and immigration, and you heard Adam touching on both areas. And we are here to make people understand that they can reach out to this firm and get free phone consultations. All right. We've got the head man right here. He's already on. I'm surprised that I was trying to surprise everybody, but Adam always sneaks in there. I was going to start the show, pump the show up for like 4 minutes, get everybody following and everything. Then boom, you guys be logging on, introducing you one by one. But Adam snuck in. And then, of course, Conrad Pollock snuck in. Conrad, good morning. How's everything over there?
Hey, good morning. Everything's good. Just living the dream, as they say.
You're living the dream. There's so much I want to talk to you about, man. But if I talk to you about it, Adam will kill me.
No, it's all right. We today is the day that we really need to inform everybody out there as to what's going on in immigration. I just saw yesterday Trump's the administration's new attack on DACA, so we can talk about that. And
Okay, good. Okay, it's full on then. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
we can talk about DACA, what DACA is. A lot of my friends that watch this show find it very interesting because. Listen, there's a whole world of immigration that most Americans have no idea about, right? I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Conrad was born in Brooklyn, New York. You were born in Jamaica. Your parents immigrated to the United States and legalized their status. And now your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren will have no issues. But there are people that aren't as lucky as we are. Being born in the United States in many ways is like winning the celestial lottery. There's nothing I did right to become a U.S. citizen. I was just born here. But my grandparents, my grandfather immigrated to the United States. My grandmother was born in Brooklyn. That's just, we're all immigrants. And a lot of Americans don't really understand, truly what it means to be an immigrant and what the challenges are for legal immigration here in the United States. And that's really what we focus on, legal immigration, right? We're not trying to sneak anybody across the border. We're not trying to trick the government into letting people stay when they shouldn't rightfully be able to stay. We're here to help guide our clients through the legal system in the immigration courts. And that's what we do. And we fight for our clients like their family. Same thing and same approach for personal injury. When a client calls me, and we can talk about this in a little bit, the calls are starting to pick up again now that everything's kind of reopening, unfortunately. I guess good for business, but terrible for reality that people are getting into accidents. When we take those phone calls, we take them just as serious as if your cousin called saying, hey, listen, Adam, I got into an accident, I need your help. Because that's how we roll. We know one speed and one speed only. We know that you got one chance to get this right. There are no redos in personal injury. And that's why we say one chance, one choice, your case handler team at ppid. And I can't stress that enough. So everybody out there listening, you may not need us right now, or you may need us right now, but you won't know until you make that phone call. We have people calling us all times of the day, even asking what they think to be silly questions with respect to immigration. But there's no such thing as a stupid question. There's only a stupid mistake because you failed to get the information you need to be successful in your endeavors. So I'd rather you ask the stupid question than make the stupid mistake. 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID-LAW.
What I want to make clear, though, Adam, before we go to the maestro, which is Conrad Pollock, head of the firm, Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico, and the firm that you're a partner in, what I want to make very clear, everyone that's tuning in right here on 93.5 WVIP FM, everyone that's watching us on Facebook, I would love for all of you to dial the number. And the reason why you're going to dial the number, the consultations with the attorney happens to be free. Now, please do not take that for granted. They did not have to give free phone consultations. I've worked in the past, ages ago, with attorneys. They never, ever in the history of my working with them gave any free consultations. I made it happen with Adam Handler, the Conrad Pollocks, and the Nelson Madrids. So I would love for everyone to actually have the number, dial the number. The number, once again, dial it now, and you will get a free phone consultation off the air with the attorneys. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. You dial that number and you say, hey, I would like a free phone consultation with one of the attorneys on immigration or personal injury. It doesn't matter. 844-774-3529. And it doesn't matter where in the United States you are. They can help you in the capacity of immigration. And obviously, with personal injury, it's in New Jersey and New York. But reach out to them, 844-774-3529. I was blown away yesterday at around 8:30 or so. I reached out to one of the attorneys, Nelson Madrid, 8:30 p.m. And he actually got on the phone with a potential client in Illinois. That's expediency. That's what I'm talking about. And the potential client was very happy, okay, and said, they love you guys and they're going to be going with you guys. That's what I'm talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, get that free phone consultation and then you hire them. PPID, ladies and gentlemen, 844-774-3529. So let's talk immigration. What's going on, Conrad? What's going on in this world now? What is this orange guy up to now?
Well, it's just, it's another day. What is it, Wednesday? So, okay, another new restriction. The Supreme Court, 2 weeks ago, came down the decision allowing DACA to proceed, basically finding the Trump's administration, their attempt to terminate the program was done improperly. They didn't give it was basically the DACA program was upheld on a technicality. They basically said the Trump administration didn't do what they were supposed to do in canceling it. But now, of course, they're trying anew to cancel it. They put out a new instruction yesterday that they're not accepting any new applications while they review the program. And there are various reasons that they devised to come up with this new restrictive program. They're basically trying to flout the law. The Supreme Court just came down and said, keep it going. And now here they are once again trying to destroy it. And it's funny how the Trump administration says, these kids, we got to keep them here. Trump's always saying, they're great kids. And well, sometimes he says it. But meanwhile, every chance he gets, he tries to get rid of the program. It's just, as usual, it's just nonsense, one more restrictive policy after another. But basically, the DACA program does currently exist. If you have DACA, you can renew it, although now they're limiting it to 1 year. Which is, again, another restriction. You can apply for travel authorization, advanced parole, if you have DACA, but you need a real emergency in order to qualify to get that travel authorization, which, by the way, that travel authorization can be really important. As I said, they're not accepting any new applications. Good morning, Alexandra. What a surprise to see you here.
Welcome to another attorney, Alex, okay, on the panel.
Alex is going to come in and talk about some new stuff as well that she's familiar with, so I don't steal all the oxygen on the show. But look, the bottom line is, if Trump gets reelected, DACA's gone. It's that simple. They're going to do whatever they can to get rid of it now, to restrict it now, but he can't get rid of it in full because of the Supreme Court decision. They're going to do everything they can to restrict it, which is what they're already trying to do as of yesterday. But if he doesn't get reelected, DACA will survive. DACA will become the law if Biden is the president. If Trump gets reelected, it's gone. So any of you people out there that have kids or relatives or friends or neighbors that have qualified for DACA, they're in limbo right now. Yeah, they have DACA and they have permission to work, although, again, it's been restricted and extensions will be limited to a year. But you want to get out there and you want to vote for Joe Biden, because if Trump gets back in, it's gone. There is no doubt about it this time around. It is gone. The Trump administration has been trying to use DACA as a bargaining chip to get to get money for his wall and to get rid of what they call chain migration and all that stuff. But the fact is, there is no negotiating going on right now, and they're still limiting DACA. Doing so, what they did yesterday, putting these restrictions on DACA, there is no reason, there is no negotiation. They're not talking to Congress about a change in the immigration laws right now. It's just the typical mean-spirited, let's screw the immigrants situation. That's all this is. So, Alex, am I exaggerating?
I didn't listen to the entire thing, but what I heard, no, they're actually too kind.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on. There's so much going on, you know, but it's good to have you, immigration attorneys, and also a personal injury attorney on the show here on 93.5 WVIP FM, and also, of course, on Facebook. Now, before we ask you, Alex, to talk on the topic or what it is that you would like to expand or expound on today on cruising with the case handler, I need to remind people, please, we're asking you to share what it is that you're watching on Facebook right now. I love the numbers as it is. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, Linda, Denisa, thank you so much for doing what it is that you're doing. We're asking each person, if you're watching Facebook right now, share. I'm going to ask for you to share two things today. Share what it is that you're watching by clicking the share option, and share it on at least 10 individuals' timeline, your friends' timeline, groups, and also, of course, pages. And I'm also asking for you to share the phone number. So this way, people have the number of good attorneys helping them with immigration and also, of course, with personal injury. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Now let's speak with the lady that's on the panel today. Her name is Alexandra Bondagoff. And recently she actually helped out a friend of mine with a phone consultation when I was down in Jamaica. I want to tell you thanks, all right, for that, Alexandra. Seeing that my other friends were so busy, I couldn't find them, you know, although I found one last night, you know, thanks again. So Alexandra, welcome to the panel. Welcome to Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. Everyone knows they should call 844 PPID law. What do you have to talk about today? Talk to me.
A couple of news pieces that may be interesting to the listeners. From the questions that we've been getting on the show, I understand that many of them are somewhere in the process through the consular process of getting their immigrant visas. I'm hearing that all consulates are slowly reopening now, so that's the good news. There's no word yet whether they will prioritize immigrant visas where an immigration ban doesn't apply, but for those of your listeners who are in that process and are ready, at least documentally qualified to get their interviews, they should be contacting the consulate with any questions, as it will depend on the post itself when they will start interviewing people again and issuing visas. Another topic of interest is we now have confirmation that the new fee structure at USCIS will take effect sometime soon. The rule has cleared internal processing, and we're waiting for it to be published very soon. And some of those fees, as we have mentioned many times on the show before, will be increased significantly. And that's about, oh yes, and that's another, good news. USCIS will delay any furloughs, the ones that were initially announced for August 3rd until the end of August. So at least there is some hope that during that time there will be some funding deal on the Hill.
Yeah, Alex, isn't there something going on in Congress today or tomorrow about that?
Yes, their testimony, what the Democrats are trying to do is they don't want just to sign a blank check. They want USCIS to at least agree to some conditions. The biggest issue that we're having is that this funding crisis is largely due to USCIS's own
mismanagement.
Right, exactly. They basically created this by issuing a lot of RFEs, by receiving prior guidance that gave deference to prior adjudications. So there is testimony going on. It will be interesting how it turns out.
Now, if I can interrupt, just a little background. There's a $1.2 billion request out there for the service. They're looking for that kind of money from Congress to keep things running. The administration inherited a surplus, but they have turned that surplus into a deficit of over $1 billion. And why? Because everything to immigration, everything to the city administration is fraud. Every application basically that goes in has some fraud attached to it, or applications that were previously approved once, twice, three times. There's got to be some kind of fraud for that happens. So basically, they've hired all these additional people. They've created all these additional anti-fraud units, and of course, all of that costs money, and made every application out there much more difficult to get.
What about all these detainment centers? Does that all go to the immigration budget too? When you see on TV these?
No, that's CBP. That's ICE. That's not the USCIS. That's not funded. The USCIS is funded by user fees, by application.
Okay, so this is more like an administrative issue.
Look, USCIS is meant, when it was created, when the Department of Homeland Security was created, they took the Immigration Service, which is Immigration Naturalization Service back then, and they divided it basically into three categories. They made a USCIS, ICE, which is the police force for immigration, and CBP, which is border protection, and so on. USCIS was meant to be a benefits agency. It was meant to provide benefits to people. The enforcement arm of immigration, CBP, is ICE. CIS was meant to provide benefits. It was supposed to be a beneficent agency. But what this administration has done is turned it into one more arm of enforcement, and they've used up all the funds. They've scared people off in terms of people say, oh my God, I mean, if this easy application got denied, what's going to happen in my case? So nobody's filing. Plus the pandemic hasn't helped, obviously. So they've run out of money. And there is a school of thought out there that they've done it on purpose. You know, Stephen Miller, who is Trump's right-hand man on immigration, who's basically the brains behind the operation, he just wants to end immigration in total. So there is a school of thought out there that they did this on purpose to just destroy the immigration service.
Wow.
Whether or not it's the case, who knows? But the fact is, Congress, in support of what they're proposing, they're not just writing a blank check here. They're saying to immigration, you know what? You had the surplus, you blew through it. The reasons don't hold up. So they're looking for some kind of quid pro quo here, that if we're going to give you the money, you better do things the right way. And we'll see what that comes out, how that comes out. But this week there are hearings about this specifically. So we'll see what happens. But it's just a mess. Just a mess.
Let's give out that phone number. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're in tune to Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. And the number, once again, to call is 844-774-3529. Everyone that's actually watching now, you will get yourself a 100% free phone consultation with one of the attorneys, privately and confidentially. That means off the air, but you got to call now. That number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. But I got a question for everybody. So let's see if you have the answer to this question, because you've been listening to the show, watching the show for a while. Okay, so let's just find that out now.
Who you gonna call? Case handler. Bit by a dog, scaffolding fall. Case handler. Construction accident. Medical malpractice, slip and fall. Who you gonna call? Case handler. Case handler. Case handler. Case handler.
There's only, I guess, one thing better than hearing two clients talk about you in the waiting room. I guess that's having your own jingle. But I guess well deserved, right, Squeeze? That's great stuff, man.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
You got to call the case center. I found something funny on the internet the other day. I saw. I got to show you this. You guys, I think Conrad will like this too. Look at this guy's sign. 2/3 of Trump's wives were immigrants, proving once again that we need immigrants to do jobs that most Americans won't do. I thought that was great. I really did think that was great.
Oh man, that's a funny one. Oh man.
They're unrelated topic. On our Facebook page right now, Ruthie just added a link. We have a client that we've been talking about, and immigration basically came to, he has an outstanding deport order for 10 years or so. The guy's been here. He's got kids here. One of them has cerebral palsy. Immigration busted into his house a couple of weeks ago in the middle of the night and basically scared the living hell out of his family. Took this guy into custody, our client, and they were about to put him on a plane last week, but we were able to get a temporary restraining order from an immigration judge, or actually from a federal judge, to keep him here. And right now he's still in immigration custody. They're trying to remove him. His family has created basically a GoFundMe page. We just linked to it on our Facebook site, on the case handler, and on the PPID site. So everybody's listening. You want to go take a look, and you can see the type of work that our firm does, and the type of the type of cruelty that the administration is capable of. You can see from this Facebook link what's going on here, and we're trying to keep our client here. He's a father of 3 kids. Again, one of them cerebral palsy. The guy's been here for over 20 years, and they're trying to remove him. He has no criminal issues. He's a good guy. He's made a lot of his life here, and his life is here. And they're trying to remove him, strictly based out of cruelty. I would direct everybody to go and take a look at this at the link on our page and see what's going on. And again, you can see the type of work that we do on a regular basis. In fact, there was Alan Kay, the general. He's been spearheading the operation, and he was able to get a reporter from Newsday to write about it. And Newsday published an article about it over the weekend. It's all on our website, so I direct everybody to take a look at it if you have any interest, and if you want to help the guy, help his family out in terms of funding the operation.
Beautiful. All right. Once again, the number is 844-774-3529. Check out the website, 844-774-3529. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Adam Handler to give us what's called a true success story. So let me get the jingle going again.
Hit by a car, who you gonna call? Case handler. Bit by a dog, scaffolding fall. Case handler. Construction accident. Medical malpractice, slip and fall. Who you gonna call? Case handler. Case handler. Case handler. Case handler.
We got to get this.
All right, let's get one in real quick before top of the hour in the questions. We'll make it a dealer's choice. Hold on, I got to connect to this. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. You caught me a little off guard. But let's see, Alexandra, ladies first, I guess. Is there a settlement here that looks exciting to you that you want me to discuss real quick?
Let's go with 3.4 million.
3.4 million. Yes, that is a very, very important case. Unfortunately, the link to it doesn't work because it was a very, very confidential settlement, but I will tell you about it. This is an individual that was severely injured in an automobile accident in Freeport, New York. She was a passenger in the vehicle and suffered a traumatic brain injury. One of the worst injuries I've ever had to represent a client on in my entire career. I mean, she was and still is, unfortunately, in a horrible state. But the cars that were involved in the accident both had insurance policies. One was $25,000, one was $100,000, which were immediately tender. That means forked over, I guess you could say, which obviously was not going to be sufficient to even cover the initial medical bills. I think her initial ICU trauma stay was almost $400,000. So what we had to do is we had to dig a little deeper, and we researched the intersection in which this accident happened out in Freeport, New York. Turns out that they had multiple accidents at this intersection. We got interviews from citizens and residents in the area saying this has always been a dangerous intersection. They've complained to the town to put in additional stop signs, which they just completely ignored. I wound up deposing the engineers of the town who said, yes, they did receive these complaints, but didn't get around to do it. After the accident, of course, they put in the extra stop signs, and now there hasn't been a single accident at that intersection in over 10 years. The point is, we sued the town of Freeport for having a negligently designed road. One of the most difficult cases that you can come up against. Medical malpractice cases are about 8 out of 10 are losers. These cases, about 95% are losers because the burden is so high for the plaintiff to show that the town knew about the problem and completely ignored it beyond all reasonable means of engineering. There's an immunity to government, which for good reason. I mean, a government should be able to run on a daily basis without fear of being sued left and right. But there are instances in which governments can be negligent, and governments are towns, of course, Freeport. The case actually wound up being dismissed, and Brian Isaac, my partner, appealed the case to the second department, which is the second highest court in the state of New York. It was reversed, meaning that the case was reinstated. And then after it was reversed and we were ready to go to trial, the town of Freeport did offer $3 million, I think was it $3,275,000 for a total settlement of $3.4 million. The point of this story is we took a nearly impossible case, a case that probably under most circumstances at most law firms would result in $125,000 settlement, which is the most the insurance was. And instead we turned into something that can guarantee the family peace of mind knowing that their daughter, 23 years old at the time, who will require a lifetime of medical care, will never have to worry about a single medical bill, a single prescription, a single assistive device, really changing the lives of that family in another direction. The accident caused a swing to the left of tragedy. The outcome caused a swing to the right of a positive situation, and they're not having to worry about their daughter. So probably I would say the most important case I ever worked on, and probably the most difficult case I ever had to work on. And that just made me a better lawyer. And thankfully, in the years following, I was able to even do bigger and bigger things. But that was one of the most important cases of my career. Thank you for letting me share that with you guys. My name is Adam Handler. I'm your case handler. We're Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico. We are personal injury lawyers, immigration lawyers, criminal defense lawyers, real estate lawyers. We are a full service law firm here in New York City. Our phone number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Call us right now. Give us a ring. Free consultations, free advice over the phone. You've got nothing to lose. Remember, no stupid questions, only stupid mistakes. Change your life and change your family's life forever. 844-774-3529.
Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're cruising with a case handler, 8:30 a.m. weekdays right here on 93.5 WVIP FM, and also on Facebook. As we can see, people are already placing their questions on Facebook and also, of course, in the WhatsApp group. Remember, he noted it, the number. That is the most powerful thing you can walk away from this, because you already know that they've got the experience and the knowledge. I need for every one of you to actually have that number. Dial the number, let it ring for a few seconds. So this way it's registered. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can use that number when you need it. 844-774-3529. Be like thousands of people that has used the firm ppid in respect to personal injury and yes, immigration. 844-774-3529. Let's get to a question that someone here on Facebook has been asking, been waiting for a while, my immigration attorneys. Sheldon says, I filed an I-90 in April because I've never received my GC after being approved in October last year. I have since gone for the InfoPass for an I-55-1 stamp. If I decide to contact the USCIS ombudsman, would that expedite my getting the card, or should I wait? Ombudsman. What's ombudsman?
Yeah.
Ombudsman. Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what that is.
Alex, you can have that one.
Okay. Well, we just received within the last week an update from Ombudsman saying basically that their hands are tied. So the Ombudsman is an option. How effective that would be, I don't know. I think this is tied to the fact that USCIS is cash strapped, so they had to fire the contractor who produces their green cards. As a matter of fact, there are currently, I think, 75,000 green cards that were approved but never produced, and also work authorization cards. And just this week or last week, late last week, there was a class action filed to force USCIS to produce these cards. So, the listener can definitely try Ombudsman. I'm not sure if it will result in a faster production of his green card. Right now, things are just very, very, very slow. But with a 551 stamp at least he has proof that he is indeed an LPR, and he can show that for work purposes and also for travel.
Okay, that's of course Alexandra, boss lady Bondakov, right there at the firm PPID, Paula Pollock, Isaac, and Disico. One of my folks that the firm is not only just about immigration and personal injury. There's also criminal defense, there's real estate, there's family law, and much more. So remember, you just need one law firm, and that is PPID, 844-774-3529. All right, let's get to another question here on immigration. I'm sponsoring my husband, but I also have a joint sponsor who works as I lost my job because of COVID. I worked consistently for 5 years and paid taxes. Can my being unemployed affect my process of sponsoring?
Absolutely, especially with the new, well, first off, we don't know where she's applying for her husband. Is it an adjustment of status, or is he applying back in his country? Yeah, the fact that she's not working certainly is not going to help. She needs a joint sponsor. Hopefully with a satisfactory joint sponsor who's making enough money to support everybody involved, it'll be okay. But with the 944 application, which is the new public charge application, which everybody has to file here when they apply for adjustment of status since February, there are a lot of other factors involved. Income is just one of them. Even if she's working and is making good money, and has a joint sponsor, that alone is no longer sufficient to guarantee that the person is not going to be deemed a public charge. They're looking at assets, they're looking at credit reports, they're looking at what kind of benefits this person might have received. Any kind of government benefits qualify now, from Medicaid to food stamps to public housing, Section 8 vouchers. So there's a lot involved now, and yeah, it's difficult to say what their situation is because we don't know all the facts of that case. But the public charge issue is going to be, especially if Trump gets reelected, it's going to become a major issue down the road, and we're going to be getting a lot of questions like that. And the bottom line is, people try to do this type of stuff themselves. It might have worked 2 years ago. Those days are coming to an end real quickly, especially if Trump gets reelected.
Why don't we talk a little bit more about the public charge?
Alex, be my guest. It's a topic I don't like talking about. It depresses me.
The point I'm getting to is people need to actually let you guys handle their case.
I can talk about the public charge. You want me to talk about the public charge? We've been discussing the public charge for months now. The public charge is essentially a rule that's always been in effect, however, being enforced now more than ever. Basically, the government wants to say, if you're gonna legalize your status in the United States, they want to make sure, I guess, you have a clean record of not being dependent on government services, whether it's public assistance, housing. Is Medicaid included in that?
I only emergency medical care. So if you go through the emergency room, it's not included. Basically, everything else is part of it.
Right. And that's basically it, because I understand the policy. They don't want, Trump's big.
Well, Adam, there's more to it than that. Yes, the public charge rule has existed forever. All right. Every immigrant coming in over the last 100 years had to make some kind of showing that they could support themselves.
Right.
That they're not coming here to receive welfare. Okay. That's clearly been the case, and there's nothing wrong with that. Many millions of immigrants have immigrated to this country under the old public charge rule, which was more than satisfactory. This rule that's been created by Stephen Miller, who is as white supremacist as they get, and he's Trump's guy. He's Trump's administrative hack handling all these immigration matters. Anyway, there's a big difference here. Immigration applications, all of these different forms, 485s and I-130s, these are all for benefits. These are all applications that are done to allow people to apply for some kind of benefit. This public charge form, this I-944 form, is a new breed. It is not meant to help people. What that form is meant to do is to weed people out.
Right, yeah.
Is to try to discourage people from applying. It could take hours to fill out that form, and it could take weeks to months to get the documents that you need to complete it. That's on purpose. That's all intentional. It is a way for the administration to discourage people from applying for an immigration benefit. And that's different. That's a new concept in immigration.
Gotcha.
You guys should have.
And in a lot of ways, it's a catch-22, right? Because if you're not legal here to work in the United States, I guess you would be more dependent I mean, listen, the truth is, Conrad, have you ever met or dealt with a client that wanted to legalize their status here in the United States that didn't want to be a productive part of this society, that didn't want to work, that didn't want to pay taxes? I remember we once had a client that was so happy that he had taxes taken out of his paycheck. He was finally legal to work here in the United States. He had a tax ID. He was paying taxes. He's like, I'm part of the society now. And that's what a lot of people forget, that people don't want to be dependent on government services. They want to be dependent on themselves.
There are always exceptions to the rule. The vast majority, and again, I've been doing this for 35 plus 36 years. Right? The vast majority of people that are coming here are not coming here for benefits. All right? They're coming here seeking a better way of life. They're coming here to make the lives of their family, make the lives of their children better. And the vast majority are looking to contribute. Vast majority. Yes, there are some that don't pay taxes. There are some that don't have Social Security numbers. Most of those people that don't have Social Security numbers, it's because they can't get them. So
Right.
they get ID numbers instead. Right? The vast majority of people that come in here are looking to pay their taxes. They're looking to do things the right way. And in fact, we, as a matter of course, in our firm, we tell our clients, look, you want to get your green card, there are certain responsibilities that come with that. And one of them is paying taxes, another is not committing crimes. And again, the vast majority of people obey those rules. I mean, yeah, there are always exceptions. But the vast majority of those people are paying their taxes and looking to do the right thing. This public charge rule is totally unwarranted. It is an anomaly to this point in immigration law, in the history of the immigration laws. And hopefully Trump doesn't get reelected, because if Biden wins, that rule is gone. Right? If Biden comes in, because they've already acknowledged that this rule is just so draconian and just so unnecessary. And again, all it is a way to weed people out, to discourage people from applying for their permanent residence, from coming here. It's just one more substantial way to discourage people from legalizing. And Trump talks about getting rid of the illegals and all the Mexican rapists and all of that nonsense, and the gang members and all. Okay, yeah, there is something to be said for these people that are committing crimes here and getting them out. I don't disagree with that. Right? This has nothing to do with that. This is an attack on legal immigration, not illegal immigration. This I-944 form is meant to discourage people that are trying to legalize, that are in line, that are trying to get their green card the right way. Right? This is a method by which to discourage those people. And it's particularly aimed at people that don't have a lot of means. These are people that are working.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, if you have to be on some kind of public assistance, or you do need that extra help, how the hell are you going to spend thousands of dollars on an attorney? It's just not happening. It's a system that's set up to fail.
That's right.
The
only way to describe it is draconian. That's what it is.
Yeah. Even with the squeeze discount. By the way, people have been calling, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't stressed this enough. People have been calling, mentioning this squeeze discount. I think Conrad's ready to tear his hair out of his head. My God, we're really doing good things, though. The most important thing, though, is we are giving back to the community that is given to us.
But on a serious note, and that's the reason why I'm saying to everybody out there, make sure you reach out to the firm, get the free phone consultation, and hire them. We don't even know how long this free phone consultation is going to last. So once again, make the call. 844. Exactly.
Not at this rate. If Trump wins, my God.
Exactly. 844-774-3529. Make the call and get that free phone consultation. Here's another quick question. Well, it's not so quick. Hi guys, I hope you can help me and give me advice. My father petitioned my brother in August 2001 under the category of F1. My brother was widowed and had 2 kids aged 9-year-old and 5-year-old at the time. Then the petition got approved in 2014, but my brother got married. Then the immigration changed my brother's category to F3, and now the kids are overage. My nephew is going to be 28 in October, and the NVC denied him. But it says on the letter, it's not final. The determination under the CSPA, the embassy consulate will decide if he has a chance to join his father during the interview. Do you think he's still covered under the CSPA?
Give me that dates again. So 2001 he filed. How long was when was the petition approved?
Filed in 2001 under the category F1. Then the petition got approved in 2014.
13
so 13
years.
years.
It
Yeah.
might make
Yeah.
Might make it. Under the CSPA, they will look at the amount of time it took for the petition to be approved between the time it was filed and approved, which is 13 years. They deduct that amount of time from the person's age, from the child's age. So if the child is 28, in fact, they deduct 13 years. That means under the law, he's 15. He could come.
Gotcha. All right, so here's another one. By the way, folks, the number is 844-774-3529. Another question. I'm filing the I-130 petition for my parents. Will a birth certificate of U.S. petitioner be enough as the evidence of relationship? Do I need to include any translated foreign documents of parents aside from recent photos?
It depends. All right. Was he born when? So he's petitioning for both parents. For the mother, it will probably be sufficient. For the father, though, it would depend whether he was born in wedlock at the time he was born. If not, then the USCIS may require additional secondary evidence of the relationship.
Gotcha. I'm going to ask one more question here, okay, from a final person, and then I'm going to ask Adam Handler to touch on personal injury again before we conclude. My friend here is currently on a visitor visa, and his extension is about to expire, but there are no flights to the home country at the moment from the USA, and his wife has not gotten approval to return home either yet due to COVID-19. When calling USCIS, they were recommended to apply to a second visitor visa extension and do another I-539 application. I just want to know if someone has experience with filing a second time for extension and what the result was. Is there another alternative to this problem? Yeah, you call PPID. Anyway, I answered that question there. All right.
Yes, you did. It was a very good answer. Yeah, generally speaking, yes, you can. Whether or not there are other alternatives, they have to call for a consultation. But yes, you can, especially during COVID. That seems to be the only way to go because USCIS has not blanketly decided that they would extend people's stays due to inability to leave because of the pandemic. So
it's been a common problem that we've been dealing with over the last, since March, since all of this stuff went down. It's a very common issue, and we've been dealing with it on a regular basis. Look, every extension that you request gets harder. All right, the second one is harder than the first. The third one's harder than the second. All right, but we're doing it on a regular basis. We're pretty good at it. So, as like he said, squeeze, call PPID.
That's it. You gotta call PPID. You got to. All right. So Adam, so that's immigration, ladies and gentlemen. Once again on Cruising with a Case Sander. We're gonna jump to personal injury for a few here before we conclude and end a wonderful show. Do remember the number is 844-774-3529 for any legal issue that you may have. You need to reach out to the firm first. 844-774-3529 and get that free phone consultation. Adam.
My man, listen, it's been, what a great show, by the way, I got to say. Such good information. I hope everybody is really taking our advice seriously and using that phone number and calling. I know the phone has been ringing here, so people are making that smart decision and giving us a ring and taking that phone consultation for free. So thank you for doing that. And with respect to personal injury, I can't stress enough how proud I am of my team. I have wonderful people working for me. Matthew Goodstein, my associate, my friend, my brother, has just been crushing it this year. Just dedicated to getting justice for our clients, and that's essentially just getting money. I mean, the civil justice system here in the United States provides for monetary compensation if you're wronged, if you're injured, through the fault of somebody else. And I'm looking at the numbers where this year we're at 13, almost at $14 million, 13,748. Just unbelievable what we've been able to do with simply a Wi-Fi connection. The courts are still physically closed for business. They are open virtually. We are conferencing cases with judges by video in a similar format to this. Like I said, the other day, we settled a case for $925,000 over a Zoom session. A few days before that, we turned down a $1 million offer for our client because we know that's not enough money to compensate her. And she's got one chance to get it right. And she made that one choice of attorney, Adam Handler, the case handler at PPID. So we are tasked with the heavy responsibility of making sure justice is served for our clients, but we have been kicking ass. And it's just because we treat every case like it's our most important case. We truly are very, very unique in that our approach to personal injury is a family-based approach. We fight for you like family. And when you fight for somebody like family, how can you fight any harder? I mean, that's that, right? I mean, that's a 10 out of 10, right? You're never going to fight harder for anybody other than your family. And if you treat your clients like family, good things are going to happen for your firm. Good things are going to happen for your clients, and good things are going to happen for everybody out there, knowing that there's an attorney that they can count on, attorneys rather, that they can count on when disaster strikes, when there's an accident they didn't expect, or of course, when they're trying to change their life and their family's life for generations to come by legalizing their status here in the United States. I'm Adam Handler. I'm your case handler. We're Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico, attorneys in New York City, 225 Broadway on the 3rd floor. Our phone number is, I was about to give the address again. Our phone number is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844-PPID-LAW. I asked you an hour ago, and I'll ask you now, just to make sure nothing has changed. Squeeze, you down with PPID?
Come on, Adam. You know me.
All right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A wonderful show. I want to say thank you to Alexandra Boss Lady Bondakov. I want to say thanks to Adam Handler, the case handler. I want to say thanks to Conrad Pollock, the maestro. It's been great. Have yourself an amazing day. Yes, we know prior results will not guarantee similar outcome. However, we now know we should only reach out to PPID when it comes to, of course, legal help. Once again, the number is 844-774-3529. Catch you tomorrow morning at 8:30 on 93.5 FM and right here on Facebook and more. Thanks again. And don't forget to check out the YouTube of the Case Handler. Great stuff, good stuff. Thank you so much. Have a good day.